You've waited a lifetime to look better and feel better, and now here's your chance. Fitness Friday on WNDB. Call 239-0033 and have your questions answered on health, fitness, and a better life. Fitness Friday is brought to you by Bodez by Tasso & Company, 1140 West Granada Boulevard in Ormond Beach. And now, here's your host, Tasso Kyriakis.
Welcome to Fitness Friday, everybody. And I'm joined in studio today by, who's that guy again? Mitch from Love's Foods. Love Foods. There you go. And our new motto on the Fitness Friday show of love, laugh, and lift. And we'll be talking to Mitch later. He's sitting in to join me with our special guest. He's going to be calling in Josh Axe, and then we're going to talk about some things going on at Love Whole Foods. But I want to starting out today, a little bit about what we are doing at Bodez as far as promoting and that. You know, Dave, if you had 19% body fat, you'd really look good. You'd feel good. You'd move better. You'd fit in your clothes.
You don't think I have 19% body fat? I have at least 19%.
You have at least. But if we could get down to 19% body fat. Now, the reason I picked 19 is for several reasons. Number one is 20 to 22% body fat for women is the healthiest body fat to be at. You know, that's why healthy women jiggle, because at that 20 to 22% range, they have their lowest risk of lifestyle disease. That means they're having to do all these things right from the standpoint of eating and exercise and that to maintain that. Now, there are women out there who want to get down to 15 to 17 because they want to get this aesthetic look, which is a pretty tough place to go for most women, okay? Men, 15 to 18 seems to be our range that we want to be for optimal health, okay? Now, that's where we throw away the height and weight tables. Well, 19% also correlates to 19 years since we opened Bodez by Tasso & Company in its current location. I've been in this industry for 34 years, and 19 years ago we purchased this property and began to renovate this building. So we'll do, and you know, I might point out that myself and I think Beach Street Gym are the only people. I take it back. The guy that owns Planet Fitness, he owns his property. That's the only three health clubs that actually own their own property in this community. So we've invested in our community in a very big way on our dreams.
Same here with Love Whole Foods. Same deal.
Yeah, everybody else leases their space and stuff. So, you know, I wanted to point out, but we're going to celebrate this 19, you know, and I'm going to be very honest with you. The 13-13-13 promotion that we did was a huge success for us. I mean, we saw people coming and taking advantage of the Bodez program. So we said, how can we continue that trend? And so we sat and we sort of brainstormed. So we came up with the $19 down, $19 a month for your first 3 months to get into your fitness program with our Body Coach program. That is our supervised program. Now, at the same time, Dave, they'll be able to get into a 10-week one-on-one program with a money-back guarantee for results. Now, that's something that no one else is going to do for you in the fitness industry or the personal training industry. And why can Bodez do that? It's because the program at Bodez is not a personality-driven program. It is a program. It is a principle-driven program, meaning when I sit and do the evaluation with a person, the game plan is created and put into a file that any of my trainers can follow. You know, you go into many health clubs and things like that, and you see people who hold different philosophies about how you should train. One of the unique selling positioning things of Bodez Personalized Fitness is we have a set, consistent philosophy to how we exercise and what the things are that are good in exercise and what things are overbearing to exercise. So when you look at being successful in a program, we talked about this many times on this show, there's 4 reasons people fail when they go into fitness centers. They don't have a plan that's based on a success principle and on science to be successful and do well. Number 2, they don't have someone who cares or guides them through the program to make sure that, you know, there's someone there to rely on for consistent advice. 3rd, they get hurt because they jump in too much. 4, they get bored because they don't have that game plan and they don't get results. And then they feel like they need variety, but they get bored with the variety that's available inside. So what we have done is put a program together that does that, and that's our body coach program. You'll have supervision. There's always someone on the floor directing you. You start with 3 appointments where someone takes you through and shows you the machines. We feel that's critical. And now the other component, you actually get a 4th appointment because we take you and we show you the SciFit equipment, which is the key to the burst training. And we'll talk a little bit with Dr. Josh Axe about when he calls us. You have a game plan that is proven. It's been proven for whatever diet program we've ever run, and that we have been able to use these training principles to help get people results when they put all the plans together. So that aspect of it, that's why I chose 19 years at this location, $19 a down, $19 a month for the first 3 months. Then you choose which part of the membership you want to go into. And then if you choose to, you can get a 10-week one-on-one program with a 100% money-back guarantee on it, which is, I think, a pretty good offer from the standpoint of what we do in our programming. So, but anyway, that's what we're going to go.
You know, Tasso, that makes me feel. The reason we've done this partnership is Love Whole Foods has been in Ormond Beach for 24 years. We've been in basically in partnership for 24 years. It took us too long to do this, but
right.
The other interesting thing is that our standards. Our mission statement from 24 years ago is still being handed out today. It's exactly the same as what you're saying with your 19-point plan. It stayed the same for 19 years. Ours has stayed the same. The same quality standards for food, the way you do fitness, is what we've done for 24 years.
And you know, when I look at what we do in our business, and think about this, the principles I've been doing are 34 years old for me, and ageless from the standpoint of the people who taught them to me. Same for you. You know, when you have truth, you can't deride it. Ignorance can attack it. You can try and do all these things. But what we want to do is we want to get people that understand things. You know, the things I was saying years ago, because I had learned them from people who I've had a great deal of respect, and they proved to me in the doing of it. You know, when Arthur Jones said, don't stretch before you work out, I didn't stretch before I worked out. When he said, don't warm up on cardiovascular equipment before you work out, trying to get your fat burning process going, because that's not going to do it.
Yeah, they understood thermogenesis before there was a word.
Right. They understood what happens to the fuel supplies of the body. If you get on a treadmill and you start to walk for 20 minutes before you work out, you're using up all those things that are going to be used in anaerobic work. So what your strength training session should be is anaerobic in nature, so it uses all that sugar, all that blood glycogen. So now what's your body have to rely on when it goes to the aerobic exercise? Fat. That's the more efficient way to do it. And we've become even more efficient with our burst training that we've begun to do with our SciFit programs, that we find tremendous reversals of the inflammation process. Now, you have to put smart eating in place to be able to do this, and that's where the relationship comes in with you. The principles of good eating. You know, what we've done, I said to a friend of mine the other day, I said, I think the biggest injustice has been done from the standpoint of healthy eating is that we have taken and put this line of no-fat, low-fat products on the market that really...
They're phony fats. The word should be phony fats, just like phony sugars.
Right.
You know, anybody out there, and you see them in your own facility, anyone that's doing diet sodas knows two things. One, the person that's drinking them is fat. And second, that they drink them and drink them and drink them because they're addicted and they stay fat. And the soda industry knew that from the get-go.
And you know, and so they understand. I mean, in a very very, very simple explanation of why I don't like fats. And I'll give you a great example of people. When I first started this industry, the Nautilus Diet Program was what we used. And you walked in and I gave you the Nautilus Diet book. And what you did was it told you what to eat, how to cook it, and a shopping list for it. Now, back in 1987, we didn't worry about as much processing. Now, ironically, I heard a guy named Jeff LaCour speaking at that time. He was talking about pollution in our water and in our air, and he used an example of the Okeechobee, Lake Okeechobee, that they had so much pollution going in it that they had fish with half a tail on them. And I said, well, if I ate the fish with half a tail, would I lose half?
Alligator shells that just crushed when the alligator sat on the nest.
Really? And you know, we've seen now that they've found out that, you know, what was the pesticide, DDT, that they used to kill mosquitoes with, and they started to see the pests. So the process began of exploration, understanding this, and so people got on this kick of manufacturing our food. But when I first had that knowledge, I had two roommates, two girls that came and joined my program, and as they joined the program, the one was very meticulous about her eating, and all she drank was water through her program or herbal tea. Her roommate, who they were switching off on the cooking, was addicted to diet sodas. Interesting enough, she said, every time I try and get off them, I get headaches, okay, which we know is a common factor that occurs. The second thing is that when they went through their weight loss process, girls were about the same size when they began. The one girl lost 24 pounds in 10 weeks. In that 24 pounds of weight loss, she lost 29 pounds of fat and gained 5 pounds of muscle. The other girl who was drinking the diet sodas was frustrated. She lost 16 pounds. Her 16 pounds are comprised of gaining only 1 pound of lean body tissue, which is metabolically active for you, and losing 17 pounds of fat. So there was a dramatic difference right there in what was occurring in their weight loss process and how they came through. So they were eating the same food because they were preparing the food for each other. The only difference was the diet soda. So those of you that are drinking diet soda, there's one thing right off the bat, because you're probably drinking it because you're concerned about your waistline. The science of diet sodas, fake fats, and all that is completely gauged around duplicating something that occurs in nature from the standpoint of what you are eating from there. So a sugar, the saccharins and all that stuff, they're trying to be stereochemical isomers of real sugar. And they'll have a lot of the same properties, but they don't metabolize correctly. Agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Simple application of the process there.
But more important, did you see in the News Journal this week the article on the ADD, ADHD, and the diagnosis of autism? Practically 1 in 5 boys with ADD, ADHD. Read Dr. Raymond Baylock's The NutraSweet, The Taste That Kills. He makes an absolute link between aspartame, which is NutraSweet, which is used in these diet sodas, and neurolytic brain death, which is the early, and ADD, ADHD it's called an excitotoxin because it makes the brain hyperactive. Come into the store. We've got a copy of it. Blaylock is the head of pediatric neurology at University of Texas. The Taste That Kills.
So, and Dave, I'm going to take a break and see if I can get hold of Dr. Josh, because I sent him the 800 number. So why don't we go to break with the show and come back hopefully with Dr. Josh Axe.
The Hometown Business Alliance is empowering businesses and individuals in the community for success.
Our next Tuesday's networking event is Tuesday, April 9th from 5:30 to 7:30 at Caffeine Bistro and Wine Bar in Ormond Beach.
Enjoy interactive networking and expand your network countywide while refining your social skills.
For more information on this event and how the HBA can help you succeed, visit hbavolusia.com.
Don't miss the Riverfront Market, second Saturday of every month. Stroll the open-air market, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Sidewalk vendors will offer artwork, accessories for the household, vendor specials, and more. Stroll Beach Street between International Speedway Boulevard and Orange Avenue. Stop by the sidewalk merchants. Visit the shops along Beach Street. Sip coffee at Sweet Marley's Cafe, or have a bit to eat at any of the other fine eateries along the boulevard. Mark your calendar. It's the Riverfront Market, second Saturday every month. Stroll Beach Street's open-air market. We look forward to seeing you there.
Are you looking to work in an upbeat radio environment? Well, look no further. Southern Stone Communications is hiring a friendly, outgoing person. You must have complete Microsoft Word and Excel knowledge, experience in the clerical field, backup to sales assistants, and distribution of all mail. Candidate will also assist the business department in accounts payable and accounts receivable. Email your resume today to asmith@blackcrow.fm or call 386-944-7755. That's 944-7755.
In honor of April being National Child Abuse Prevention Month, come join the Children's Advocacy Center for their upcoming 9th annual It's All About the Kids Champagne and Diamond Gala on Saturday, April 6th at the Hilton Daytona Beach Oceanfront at 6:30. The evening festivities will include a relaxing cocktail hour, gourmet meal, live music, and dancing. Tickets are $100. Call 386-238-3830 to help support your community today.
Call 239-0033 for Fitness Friday and your host, Tasso Kyriakis. Here's Tasso.
All right, we're back. We got hold of Dr. Josh, who's doing some business, and hopefully he'll be calling us in just a minute. So, and the reason I'm bringing Dr. Josh on with us today is because what I want to do is start, one thing that you do very well, Mitch, is you organize seminars back and forth between your two locations in Ormond and Port Orange. And, I've always been a programming kind of person. So what we're trying to do is begin to offer this education. My goal is in June to begin an 8-week program called Habits of Health that will take people through the habits of health with some of the things I've learned over the last couple years. But on Thursday, May the 9th, this year, 2013, at 7 p.m., we are going to present the Maximized Living Makeover. And the Makeover Seminar is designed to introduce people to 5 essentials of whole health and how to apply them to help individuals and families reach their highest potential and fight the increasing disease caused by today's average American lifestyle. The person I'm going to bring to do that is Dr. Josh Axe, who is a graduate of Palmer Institute here in Daytona and practices down in West Palm. Dr. Josh, welcome to the show today.
Hey, thanks, Tasso. Great to be here, guys.
Great. And so I have Mitch with me in studio, and I think that we're all going to be talking the same language, although I think that you and Mitch have been talking the same language a lot longer than I have from the standpoint of the eating habits that really change in eating the quality of food. So, Josh, give us a little background about you and what you do in your practice and that first before we get going on this.
Sure, well, absolutely. Well, I'll tell you, I developed a passion for health early on in life, and it came about through a life experience, and probably the same reason a lot of people decide to follow a natural health route. It was a health crisis. I had a mom who was always very active. In fact, she was my gym teacher in elementary school. She was a swim instructor, always very fit. But at 40 years old, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. And for my family, that was shocking at the time because we always thought she was healthy, but she went through traditional medical system, had a mastectomy, went through chemotherapy, and I can still remember to this day how sick my mom got and just saying to myself, I never want to see her have to go through that again. And praise God, she was through it. She made it through it and was diagnosed at the end as cancer-free and healthy. But really for the next 10 years after going through chemo, I mean, she spent half of her life in bed, no energy, no quality of life. And then about 10 years later, she was diagnosed with cancer again and went back into the doctor. They said, hey, we want to do radiation. We want to do surgery. And she called me up at the time. At this point, I was actually working as a nutritionist in the Orlando area. And she said, I think we should do this all naturally. And I said, so do I. So we started taking care of her all naturally. We had her start juicing vegetables every single morning. We actually drove out in the country and got goat's milk kefir from a local farmer to increase her probiotic consumption. We started doing cultured veggies and wild berries and basically eating a perfect diet. And after 4 months, we went back to the oncologist and the tumors had shrunk in half. After we went back a year later in complete remission. And today, my mom actually turned 60 here next month, and she's in the best shape of her life. So early on, that gave me a passion for health, is knowing that I want to keep people from getting cancer. I want to help people get healthy. And so I opened up a clinic in Nashville, Tennessee, where we did all natural care. We did chiropractic care. We did nutrition consultations. We did cleansing programs. We even ran fitness classes out of the office, a program I call Burst Training. And that was our clinic in Nashville. And now I work with a company, Beyond Organic, and we create and produce the world's healthiest foods and do health seminars and programs for churches and businesses all around the country. And so that's kind of my background, Tasso. Also had a great opportunity to work with some USA Olympians with our swimmers and wrestlers. I actually went to the games this past summer, and I've just had some great experiences working with people, helping people get healthy and well.
And I know that you've worked with Ryan Lockney, who is from the Daytona area, who I imagine you met him when you were up here at Palmer, didn't you?
Well, I didn't know a lot about him at the time, but yeah, in fact, I'm a triathlete myself, and so we would be swimming in the same pool, and I remember seeing his dad every day at the pool. His dad is a swim coach there, and so yeah, we crossed paths a couple of times.
Yeah, I know. I know Ryan's really good friends with Billy Gahagan, who is also at the Olympics with NBC. And the fact, well, I didn't know that you worked with a lot of the wrestlers, so you and I have to talk about that when you get here. But tell us a little bit about the Maximize Living Makeover and where this seminar came from for you.
Well, sure. Well, all of the things that I develop and work on are with the mindset of helping people reach their optimum health potential. And so we have seen so many amazing results with what we lay out in this program. One of the first components that we lay out in our program is the nutrition component. I lay out specific eating plans, and I have what I call phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1 is really eating real foods. It's healthy for the whole family. It's getting rid of things like a lot of our gluten-containing foods out of the diet and other foods that may cause health issues. And then I have our more rapid weight loss and health crisis systems. And these are my health programs and nutrition eating protocols that are for people like my mom, people who are really sick and they need to see their diseases reversed. And so anyways, we lay out these specific nutrition programs that are nutrient dense. I always tell people to stop counting calories. That's what most weight loss programs and health programs are today. It's all about less calories. And I say rather than not counting calories or rather than counting calories, we should be counting nutrients. We should be focusing on nutrient-dense foods. And so what I do is in this seminar is I lay out the most nutrient-dense foods, what I call superfoods, and lay out customized eating plans for people. Also, I'll talk about cleansing and detoxification. One of the number one reasons why Americans can't lose weight today is because they're toxic and toxins store in your fat cells. And so I remember years ago, I was actually in undergrad, I was a personal trainer, and I would see a lot of women coming into the gym. They would exercise for hours, and they would not lose the weight, or they wouldn't lose near as much as they should, or they would reach a plateau and the weight wouldn't come off. And so I have specific detox programs for weight loss resistance that will help people get that last 5, 10, 20, 50 pounds off that they've been trying to lose. And we have an electrolyte cleanse, a probiotic cleanse, and different essential nutrients that help pull toxins out of your cells to reverse disease and help the body heal more quickly. Also, I go through a fitness program to where in terms of the time spent, you will burn 3 to 9 times more body fat compared to traditional cardio. And so in exercising, in as little as 10 to 20 minutes a day, just a few days a week, people can really get in the best shape of their life. And so I'll go through that program. I'll also talk about what the best supplements are today, what to look for. And so I'm really excited about the seminar we have coming up because there's going to be some great information for people. And people are going to be equipped. It's not going to be a seminar where people go there and learn 1 or 2 things. Really, I'm going to lay out a specific path for anybody with a health condition, whether it's diabetes or arthritis or chronic fatigue or fibromyalgia, or let's say we already have somebody who's already fit but wants to dive into advanced nutrition. There's really going to be something for everybody there. Well,
a couple points come to mind, and I know Mitch is chomping at a bit because you're talking our language here. A couple things real quickly. Number one is, ironically, tomorrow night at St. Demetrius Greek Orthodox Church, we have a Lenten retreat going on, and I am one of the speakers tomorrow night, and I'm going to speak about the health benefits of fasting and detox and how fast it can help.
Which is what Lent was about. I mean, that is
correct.
what Lent is.
Well, and there's the spiritual components to it as well, and just recreating some spiritual condition. The second thing is when you come up, I don't know if you're familiar with this equipment, it's called SciFit, but when you talk about burst training at its efficiency, it's burst training on steroids, is using SciFit and getting results in 6 to 8 minutes for people that you're talking about, where we take them through getting that cascade of catecholamines to heal the body, to burn the fat. But, you have to prepare the body. And a lot of people talk, and I'm sure you're going to touch on this. We talk in the fitness world about how we should eat 5 and 6 meals a day. There are people that should not and cannot do that. And some of them, the reason I've come to this point where I'm with Mitch and I'm with you is the recognition, and the guy that you're in partnership with in Beyond Organic is a guy named Jordan Rubin, who Mitch is very familiar with. And getting to know Jordan 2.5 years ago through my roundtable and starting to understand that fasting had a role, because I'd searched literally, not the world over, but through the internet, the world over, but literally in the state of Florida, gone to every person that said they were great at the anti-aging deal, and they could help my members and could help people that wanted to be helped with low testosterone levels and that. Literally, Josh, I felt like I was back in the 70s over in the University of Tampa, going to Harry Smith's gym, where there was a guy that would say, "Hey, psst, you trying to get big? Come in the back room with me." They had Dynabol, they had shots, they had all this stuff they were going to give you. Okay, I never was for that, and I had that feeling when you're dealing with a loved one, my girlfriend going through menopause, dealing with her, we had to search, and I can tell you that fasting has been one of the most significant things to getting the hormone sensitivity up to where the body begins to respond to these weight loss programs and that. And the other thing I want to say before I let Mitch get the mic, because you two, if I let you two, and I may never talk again for the rest of the show, but the other thing is this. One of the credos of the Body's training program is that you are not the victim of your metabolism. You are the creator of your metabolism, which goes back to your statement of quit counting calories from that standpoint. Now, Mitch, I know you're chomping at the bit. So,
well, I just wanted to confirm what Josh was talking about. My background is from Connecticut, and my wife and I worked with Yale New Haven Medical Center at their cancer center, primarily through the auspices of Dr. Bernie Siegel. And Siegel was the one that came up with concepts as an oncologist with Bernieisms like if you don't eliminate it, you recycle it, which was fundamental. When we came to Ormond Beach, none of the oncology professionals in town made any recommendations on diet, going back to Josh's mom's case. And now that cancer has touched every single family in America in the last 50 years, I just wanted to say we started Love Whole Foods with that fundamental premise of trying to deal with not only good nutrition, whole food, but eliminating nutritional stress, which Josh touched on. But now I've got a nice story to just tell. Yesterday, we have, I don't know if Josh knows, but the largest oncology center in Volusia County is a half a mile from Love Whole Foods at Florida Hospital. I had a nurse come in who was just diagnosed with colon cancer, and she was very familiar with all of the standard of care treatment for cancer, and she was requesting, what can I do nutritionally, fasting being the first step that she had already researched. And then, of course, water, which is one of the biggest elements that we've had. Water as a key element if you do traditional cancer therapy to make sure the cancer doesn't come back, like in your mother's case. You've got to clean out all of the dead cellular debris. We have a water that we have bottled from an artesian well in the Smoky Mountains. It's God's water. I mean, it's the way it's meant to be. And if you're working in the gym or if you're doing a cancer recovery, those are the kinds of things that you need to focus on.
And we're on the same page from that standpoint because, Josh, are you on the Daniel diet right now with Jordan, or are you not doing it?
I did the last Daniel diet in January, and it was incredible. I mean, in 10 days, I lost 14 pounds. And I know there were most people that fasted for 10 days. And again, we're still getting 12 to 1,500 calories a day.
Right.
But people lost an immense amount of weight. But no, I'm actually doing a little bit of a different fast. I like doing. I'm the sort of person, I like trying different things. I like doing cleansing. In fact, right now I'm doing a sort of intestinal cleanse where I'm doing bentonite clay and a certain strain of probiotics and something called fulvic acid. It's a anyways, I'm doing a intestinal cleanse. So I'm doing something a little different this time, but I know Jordan, I was over at his house yesterday, and he was, I know he's doing the Daniel fast right now.
Yeah, I'm in the fifth day with him, and, you're eating all regular food. It's real food that you're eating. We're getting 60 to 70 grams of protein a day, getting 36 grams of fiber. It's all natural, no preservatives. When you first opened the bag, Mitch, if you saw the bag, like Doc Hall, my chiropractor, saw the bag, and he goes, wait, Tasso, you can't have this. It has corn in it. I said, but that's not genetically modified corn, Doc. That's from Jordan's farm.
Right. I mean, the whole Inca Empire was based on corn, but it wasn't the corn that we're eating.
Right. And drinking the water and that, and the biggest thing that I noticed for people out there who suffer from arthritis, because I think that's a big group of people that needs to come to our seminar that we're going to give on May the 9th. with you is this: I have a lot of years of wrestling and beating up on my body that, man, my joints bother me a lot. But in the 10 days that I fasted for the Daniel fast in January, and now the 10 days that I'm on currently, I want to tell you, joint issues are not an issue. Flexibility seems better. I worked out Wednesday. My workout was great. I put up great numbers in my workout. It doesn't affect my performance. And so I've been fasting all my life, and I would always go through fasting, for religious reasons, and I would go through the Lenten period, and I would fast, and I'd go like, I wonder why I keep going back on 100% of this meat program like I do, because, every time I do, I get sluggish, because I would go back and gorge. And I said, I need to stay like I eat during Lent, but maybe and I think you do this too, Mitch. I always recognize the value.
I do a 19-day fast every year also. The number 19 is real important to me.
I always recognize, I think, the value of good beef products in our diet. And I think that's another thing that I think you and I hold in common, Josh. I think that some people think, well, we can't eat meat.
It's the greatest secret. The medical industry wants, and my hat's off to chiropractic, because the Palmer College, which is in the shadow of our new store at 1633 Taylor Road, is just a mile away from Palmer College. The chiropractic profession is now taking on the mantle of the secret to health, which is water, food, fasting, cleansing. I'm on the shadow of my quarter century. We introduced probiotics. We introduced organic fruits and vegetables. Probiotics, nobody I was laughed at. We introduced omega-3 fatty acids, fish oil, cod liver oil, as what Dr. Donspach indicated was the foundation, along with probiotics, for good health. The listeners need to understand that they need to be self-motivated to research and find out exactly, this program will be a great opportunity. Find out the secret of good health. Good sleep, which I know that Dr. Axe could talk about just on sleep. I just did an article on wax stress, hug your heart, and get some sleep. You'll lose 5 pounds just getting a full night restful sleep. Come to that program. It will open the doors. The lights will turn on.
Josh, your goal is about appearance, but it's also about performance and about mindset. Talk a little bit about that in the course of the program that will be in the Maximized Living Makeover.
Well, sure. Well, I'll tell you, one of the things that I remember from when I was a personal trainer in University of Kentucky about 12 years ago now, I always had this mindset that a diet had to be like I had to go and eat, I had to eat tree bark and grass, and I had to eat Brussels sprouts and dried tuna all day. And this thing that was miserable, and when I got started in health, that's what I did. It was a very boring diet. I did egg whites for breakfast and oatmeal. I did chicken and broccoli for lunch and a sweet potato. It was this sort of diet that was so boring. And what I found over time is your food was meant to taste amazing and be healthy both. And so I think that's one of the mindsets that people have to get over is when they think, hey, I want to get healthy, but it's going to be this painful sort of deal that where people deprive me of everything that I love. And I really found that's not the case. In fact, I wrote a cookbook that has a recipe for chicken parmesan and for organic Italian meatballs and for pumpkin pie and blueberry pancakes. But we just use all natural ingredients using things like coconut and almond meal and gluten-free flours and coconut oil and these really products that have great health benefits.
And we sell them all at Love Whole Foods.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. Like, I know Love, and just to kind of give you guys some background, when I was at Palmer, I was at Love's all the time getting I remember always going there to get my raw almond butter every single week. And so, again, that's somewhere that I was. But, I think part of the mindset is people think, well, I'm going to have to get healthy, and
it's going to be expensive. The other thing they say is, it's too expensive.
Exactly, and what I found is the truth is if you want to save money, there is so much research out there showing that if you don't spend a little extra money on your health now, it's going to cost you way more in the long term. And so, again, obviously it's worth to invest in your health. But, again, just to say this, I think the new mindset is not asking the question, what can I get away with? Asking the question, what are the best things I can put in my body for energy, for reducing inflammation, for healing? And it's great. I'll give you an example. One of the things that I have most of my patients do for breakfast is a berry smoothie. They put in strawberries and blueberries, coconut milk, maybe a little bit of organic kefir, some flax meal or chia seeds, sweeten it up with some stevia or raw honey, and they've got an amazing breakfast smoothie for breakfast. It's essentially doing a milkshake for breakfast, and it tastes great. So, again, the things that we'll lay out in this program, yes, they will transform your life, but also it's going to feel good. It's going to taste good. We're going to, again, even with the exercise thing, like you guys were saying, exercising in 8 minutes a day, you can get in the best shape of your life. You don't have to go out and spend an hour and a half in a gym, 8 minutes to get in the best shape of your life. So we'll lay out a specific program, and also I'll lay out customized tracks. If you are wanting to reduce joint pain and age slower and look younger, we'll have an anti-aging track I'll lead people down. We'll have a weight loss track. I have a program that helps people lose 20 pounds in 30 days. So if you want to lose 20 pounds in just 30 days, we have a specific customized eating plan that I will present at the seminar for everyone there, and then also have an opportunity for people to learn more about vitamins and supplements and herbs like milk thistle for detoxification, turmeric for reducing inflammation in the body, echinacea and different herbs for boosting the immune system. We'll go through all of that and a lot more at the seminar as well.
Well, Josh, I'm excited about it, and I hope that you have the opportunity to come up before and actually train with me. And actually, that night that we train, 2 of my senior triathletes will be there. These guys are in the 50-plus division, and they were, they quit training because they had so many injuries and nicks and things like that. They were elite triathletes. At their time, they won the national qualifying type tournament triathlons, and they got out of it because they were just hurting too much. And what I've done is they've gone back into the training because they missed it. But what we've done is smartened them up. They're eating better. They're strength training only 1 day per week, and we're using the burst training with them, and we're getting them to rest after those strength training. People forget. And, the fasting, another thing I want to throw about fasting is about allowing the body to rest, simplifying your food, getting good food. And, when you do that, the body is allowed to perform better because rest and recovery are a critical part of performance because we put stress on our body, we properly nourish the body, and then we let it rest and recover. And that's important to overall success. The other point I wanted to make is that, oh boy, I forgot. I keep having these senior moments around you, Mitch. So, but we were talking about the training, and I completely forgot what I wanted to say. How about that?
Well,
I know you guys got something to say, so go ahead.
Well, I know that taking some adaptogen supplements can sometimes help that, so we'll have to. No, I'm just kidding. But
I'm on the train. I just got on the train. I'll tell you.
It's back to that WD-40. That cod liver oil will do it. The vitamin D for the brain.
There you go.
The lipoproteins for lubricating the collagen. That's fundamental.
So, Josh, again, I'm looking forward to it because I want to. I know what I was going to say. I hope that you have time to train with me while you're up here because I think you're going to enjoy what we do because so much of this is consistent from the standpoint of when we train people and getting people results. It's about efficiency. It's about and I'll give you a story because you work with elite athletes. I was over in Orlando on Friday night or Saturday night for 3 of our NFL athletes have combined. And we're going to bring the same show here, but here's what they've combined to do, to battle children's obesity. We're trying to get a fun name for the program, and we want to go after children's obesity, and we want to go through the United Way and certain charities. And I went over there and went to this thing, and I met a kid from Daytona Beach who is a great athlete, and he's limping. And I started talking to him. Now, I've never met him before. He was introduced to me by one of the athletes they trained. He said, this is my trainer. He's from Daytona. This kid's over in Claremont training with Tyson Gay's sprint coach. And I start working on him with some little trigger point myotherapy because he's limping around with his hamstring. And so he calls me this week and says, I can't believe, standing at a bar, working on me, how much results you got to my discomfort. He says, can I come see you? So he's coming over tomorrow. I researched this kid on the web. He's the 5th fastest 200-meter time in the world. He should have made the last Olympic team. And as I talked to him on the phone, he was training 5 days a week, double sessions, training ballistically through the programming he was going through. Now, this is an elite, this is a thoroughbred of thoroughbred. This is a genetic freak to run a 19.9 200 meters in a practice run. Can you imagine that the genetic potential this kid has? And what they've done with this kid...
I just hope that he's on a good program nutritionally, because you can't do 5 days a week and not run on empty.
Well, number one is his nutrition is horrible, Mitch.
Then you're going to end up like that
right.
that kid in the basketball game where all of a sudden the tibia goes one way, or in this case 5 ways.
Yeah.
And I mean it. That happens with a lot of these young female gymnasts. They do great when, before puberty hits in, and then bam, they're cripples.
Well, in my poster child for that case on women is Mary Decker Slaney.
Yep.
Overtraining, low percent body fat through all her young years, and she never succeeded.
What a tragedy! Just a tragedy.
But back to this young man, Josh, is that here they are. They're overtraining this kid. They're undernourishing this kid. He's not resting, and he wonders why he's missed the Olympic team where he legitimately should have been a bronze medalist minimum. He's missed the World Championships because he has a chronic hamstring problem. So our team of Dr. Fahn, our acupuncturist, myself, Mitch, we're going to get on this kid, and we got 9 weeks to get him ready for the World Championships. So I'm going to make sure that he's there that night to meet you as well.
That'd be great. I would love that. I saw this working with the swimmers, and it was funny because hearing Michael Phelps and Ryan Lochte this last Olympic Games, they were interviewed and they were asked, what is the biggest difference between this Olympics and last? And both of them said, we've worked on our nutrition, and our nutrition has gotten a lot better. And Michael Phelps came out and said, you know what? He said, when I was younger, he said, my body could deal with anything. He said, but I have actually noticed, he said, I never ate healthy before, but he said, now I notice if I don't eat healthy during the day, my joints ache, I hurt the next day. And we see that with so many athletes today. They go out, they work out hard, and by the time they're in their 40s, they can hardly move. They've got severe arthritis. And the other thing, too, by you guys doing muscle work on that athlete, that can help so much. The swimmers, I know they do that. They get massage therapy before and after every single swim meet and during the week. And I know that the sprinters, a lot of those guys up there in the Olympic level, they don't get any of that done. It's a little bit of a different world. It's crazy.
Yeah, and
that's interesting. Mark Martin's wife is one of our best customers at our new store in Port Orange. And for those that follow NASCAR, Martin basically made a resurgence, and his wife attributed it to making sure that he was eating the most nutritionally dense whole food diet that he could. That was the change. Just that one element. And
wow.
He's back in the game. He's back in the points.
Yeah, and the thing about it is that, we're going to bring this in this seminar. Let's get back to the seminar, and it's Thursday, May the 9th at 7 o'clock at Bodez by Tasso Company. It is a free seminar. You're going to be there with customized plans. How long is the seminar going to be?
I believe we'll probably do about an hour seminar, and then I'm going to do a question and answer after. So if anybody has any individual health questions for me, we'll do a Q&A there as well, which I'm really, really excited about. And I don't know, Tasso, where's the best place for people to go and actually learn more information?
Well, right now, just calling Bodez at 672-6464 is the best thing to get registered for the seminar, and then I will work with my girl to get us get set up with our website.
Right, we'll have it in both of our stores, 275 Williamson Boulevard in Ormond Beach, 1633 Taylor Road in Port Orange will also be 2 sites, plus a lot of support literature to get them excited about your coming event.
Josh? Okay, good. So, well, listen, I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule. We'll talk and set up for you and I to get on the show again and talk a little bit more about it. Again, Dr. Josh Axe. Josh, you're going to be coming up from West Palm. Is that where you're located right now?
Yes.
All right. Well, listen, we're laying the groundwork because My dream in the next year is to have a mega health weekend. Josh Axe, Daniel Papa, Jordan Rubin, and Mitch has a couple people he wants to put on that table, and using our church where we can sit 600 or 700 people and doing a seminar that changes people's health in the right direction and takes a lot of the crap that is being done to people, from the standpoint of what I see going on. People just falling for anything, for the desperation. This is the chance to start turning around your life and the way your body looks, feels, and performs. And Dr. Josh, any closing comments?
No, just to say I'm excited to see everybody at the seminar. If you're looking to lose weight fast, age slower, feel better, look younger, we're going to cover all of those topics. And so look forward to seeing everybody that first Thursday, I believe, in May.
Right. Actually, I think it's the second Thursday in May.
Oh, second Thursday. All right.
The 9th, yeah. So.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
All right, Josh, appreciate you taking the time out of the schedule, and we'll talk later and get back on this deal again. We'll do this again.
All right, great. God bless, guys. Bye.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, so I want to sort of turn the mic over to Mitch, because Mitch has some very special things going on for at the Love Whole Foods and our theme of love, laugh, and lift. So, Mitch, take it away.
Well, we just had, as you know, we did the health fair last Saturday. I talked to so many people, as Tasso knows. I went and I got laryngitis, but it was a great opportunity to just make that one-on-one connection with the community, and that's what Love, Laugh, and Lift is about. It's making that personal commitment to making a new choice that's manifest good health and happiness. Health, wealth, happiness. That's what we want. Each and every one of us wants. Right now at the store, we also did a program with 3 chiropractors, and you joined us. That was a great program.
Align, and I'm going to meet with them today, and I expect them to be at Josh's seminar as well.
It was great. It was packed. We had at least 50 people there, and they came out on an evening basically to find that same health secret that this whole program has been devoted to. I wanted to mention that we do promotions all month long. We don't do just one Saturday, the third Saturday of the month. We've got all of the Garden of Life products that Jordan Rubin founded. They're all on sale at 30%. We've got a number of coupons that'll make it as much as 30%, 33% off. We've got all of our new chapter products are 20% off. And all of our Natural Factors, which is a nutraceutical company in Canada that we have had a really, really close relationship with for 20 years. And all of those products will be on sale for every day for the rest of the month. We're open, as you know, 7 days a week at both locations. We also are getting ready for our Earth Day celebrations. We encourage people to go to our website, lovewholefoods.com. We're going to have a number of events specifically targeted to raising awareness on this incredible health threat, which is the genetic modification of our food supply. And then again, we have anyone that goes to the website will pick up our shopper, and it shows the demonstrations that we do month-long at both stores. But the big thing that I'm excited about, for those of you that own smartphones, we've just inaugurated our own store app. We encourage everyone that's already a part of our rewards program, which has been incredibly successful, but a pain in the tushy. With the new app program that you can download onto your smartphone, all of that paperwork and all of the downloading is eliminated by just simply embracing this new technology. It's really exciting. We just launched it 2 days ago. And so I can only say this is a great time of the year. Springtime is when all the neurons in the brain are sort of switched on with a goal of getting ready for the rest of the year. And I can only say this has been so exciting that we're on the same page, and that we're working together on this on the community awareness and the education as a ongoing lifestyle component. You can never learn it all, as you well know. Stuff you learned 10 years ago.
The last 24 months of my life have been an upheaval in the learning process for me, because things that I sort of intuitively thought are new because of watching our mothers and the lifestyle my mom had and saying that doesn't make sense, and then getting in contact with people like Daniel Pompa, Josh Axe, Jordan Rubin, and seeing this transformation, I think it's made my quality of life better. I know, I've known that I need less sleep now. Even though it's been twice, I forgot stuff on the air.
I'm going to take care of that for you.
Much more productive in what I'm doing. Easy to think on my feet and get things done. And the biggest difference is the joint discomfort that's leaving. And it's why I have a theme going into this year, that personal trainers trained properly can cure disease. Now, dis-ease. There is
that's the word we use, dis-ease. There is no disease.
There is a lack of ease in your lifestyle, and there is too much stress. Last week we talked about the 10 things of stress, and we should dedicate a whole show to that one day, Bitch, to talk about the ins and outs of stress and how burst training and that counteracts that.
And how just doing a minimum amount of physical activity stimulates neurolytic function and endorphins, the whole cascade of chemicals that make you feel good.
Yep.
It's all about feeling good.
Right. And so with that, I want to sort of end my portion of the show by telling you it's $19 down, $19 a month for your first 3 months at Bodez Personalized Fitness. It's a program for our Body Coach membership. That is our supervised program. When you come in, you will receive the opportunity to add on to it a money-back guarantee one-on-one program for 10 weeks that will change your life. So that's what we want to do. 672-6464 is the number. We invite you to participate with us. Call that same number to get enrolled in the Josh Axe seminar on May the 9th of this year. 7 p.m. That's a Thursday evening at Bodez Personalized Fitness. Mitch, you got the last 2 minutes of the show.
Well, I just, again, what's exciting about our partnership is that that lifting component has to be balanced with with loving yourself enough to eliminate the nutritional stress, and then remembering that sometimes it's overwhelming. There's so much information. I remember I attended a seminar with Dr. Andrew Weil in Arizona. And Andrew Weil is a Harvard-educated MD, and he was saying that the new studies at Harvard say that by the time an 8-year medical program is done, 50% of what the medical community's been taught is already obsolete. With the internet now, the key is to partner with people like members of your community, Love Whole Foods, Bodez Fitness Centers, and be able to get that information that you can trust, and then also partner. It's amazing how much information comes back to us from people that have been in different parts of the country, especially California. Don't let it paralyze you. Just come in, love yourself enough. Remember, it's all about laughing and lifting. And if you've got any other questions, just go to lovewholefoods.com or give me a call, 677-5236, 767-6543. I'm at one store or the other. I'm a fixed target. I welcome all of you and look forward to meeting you.
All right. Have a great day. Enjoy the weekend. God bless. And remember, tomorrow night at St. Demetrius Greek Orthodox Church, 7:30, I'll be talking about the health benefits of fasting.
WNDV, Daytona Beach, first in local news. Fox News updates at the top of every hour. Online at newsdaytonabeach.com.